Hi.
Are you guys related?
No.
What? I thought you were the high school kid.
Hi, how are you?
Woman's here. So.
Good, 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 good. What's your name?
Tyler.
Tyler. Nice to meet you. First time to class?
Second.
This one. Yes, it's good. Good, 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 good. Let's see. How are we? What are we doing on time? All right. Let's get started. Hey, can you put the seats out, guys? Because I know that people as they come in a little late, they'll like to sit in the seat. All right. Welcome to class, everyone. How's everyone today?
Good.
Good. All right. We are today. We're going to covering more short sale, but then we're going to get into VA foreclosures. Okay. I'll give you guys an update, a little bit of a recap on what we've learned so far in our foreclosure series. All right. The first week of foreclosure series, we covered how to become HUD certified to do HUD foreclosures. Right?
Yes.
Okay. After that, we had our class last week on how to work the courthouse sale. So we had a class on how to deal with the courthouse sales down at the courthouse steps.
When did you big class?
We did it last week.
Oh,
Yeah, the courthouse sale. We did it already. Okay. And then we did the class on. We started the short sales last week, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we did the short sales last week as well. And today we're going to go more depth in the short sales, all the actual forms on the short sales. Okay. Once we get through the short sale forms, all right, then we're going to go into VA foreclosures, and then so they'll cover it today because we have quite a bit of information on the VA foreclosure and the short sales. Okay. Next week we're going to cover the REOs, the bank foreclosures. All right, we're going to cover the bank foreclosures. Okay. Well, actually, no. Next week is our mandatory company meeting. So next week's not going to cover any foreclosures. It's actually our mandatory company meeting. Okay. Oh, so Druden, there's a flyer on Teresa's desk. There's like a food drive that I wanted to announce. It's on Teresa's desk. Can you bring that for me after you're done? Okay. Yeah, actually, bring me that food drive thing right now, and then. Okay. So, let me ask everyone as we're waiting for my flyers to come up. You know, my staff is still getting me those short sale. We're updating some stuff. Let me ask everyone something. Why are we learning how to do foreclosures right now? What do you guys think? Huh?
Turn in the market.
Yeah, there's a shift in the marketplace. You know, but it's more than just that, though. It's more than just that. You know, like for example, if you're a doctor, I know that my parents grew up in the medical field, and my mom's a doctor in psychotherapy, and the thing is that throughout her whole life, she always continually wanted to educate herself. That's why she's a real estate broker like me too, you know. And actually, she was my student. My mom. This is funny. I should have been her student. She was actually my student. The thing is that you always want to continually be able to get better and be more knowledgeable in real estate. Okay. The reason I say that is that we work in a very competitive field. If you have no way to stand out, then why would a client choose you? Okay? So like for example, I remember specifically when I first started in real estate, when I was just another real estate agent, I had no business whatsoever. Remember I told you in my story last week or the week before, the first company I ever worked with, Coldwell Banker, I could not even sell one home. You know why? Because I worked for an office that was in Fair Oaks. I'm an 18-year-old kid. Nothing about me the client wanted to work with because nothing I did stood out. Nothing. Right? Right? So one of the things in your business is you got to ask yourself something. Ask yourself, in this business, in what way is someone wanting to, or is going to want to work with you? When I started doing foreclosures at the age of 18, or even close to 19, that's when I became one of the top producers in the whole area. It wasn't because people wanted to work with me because I was Vietnamese. No. It wasn't because people wanted to work with me because I was 18 years old. Obviously not. It wasn't they wanted to work with me because I was brand new to the business. Who wants to work with an 18-year-old who's brand new to the business? Nobody, right? You know why people wanted to work with me? Is because I started learning how to do government foreclosures and I became a foreclosure specialist. And so the people that wanted to buy these government foreclosure homes, I was that resource for them. You guys understand that? Yeah, I was that resource. Okay? Okay, all right? And because I was that resource for them, okay, I decided that I was very, I stood out. And because I stood out, people wanted to work with me. And I started selling many, many homes. When you're learning how to do this type of real estate, like I said, when I trained everyone the first week how to do HUD homes, it doesn't mean that all the homes you're going to sell is a HUD home. You'd be lucky to sell one HUD home a month. Because right now there's not a lot of them. Back then, it wasn't uncommon for me to sell 2 or 3 HUD homes a week. Because every week, 10 or 15 HUD homes would come up in the market. My investor clients wanted to gobble them all up. So the properties that weren't bought by the homeowners, my clients would just gobble them up. So it wasn't uncommon for me to have 2 or 3 sales every single week. Okay? But that's not this market. That's not this market. But you know what is this market though? And it's always this market? Okay, I'll tell you. In this industry, if you do anything to stand out, if you stand out in some way, people will want to work with you. Does it make sense?
Yes.
If you stand out in some way, people will want to work with you. You become that person that has the ability to offer more services, and you start standing out. I know that some of you stand out to your client because you speak Chinese. Really. I know that some of you will stand out to your client simply because you speak the language. Is that right?
Yeah.
Some of you will stand out to your client because you speak Spanish, you speak Vietnamese, you speak Korean, you speak whatever language. Some of you stand out just because you speak the language. Well, then you have one little advantage there. If you don't speak any other language, then you don't have that advantage there. Okay? Some of you will stand out in this business is because you live in the same neighborhood as these people. So this is when you become your neighborhood specialist, right? Some of you will stand out because you just happen to live in that neighborhood and you decide to make that neighborhood your farm. And that's how you stand out. So now you're standing out because of your geography. Okay? Some of you will stand out because you work in luxury homes. That all you do are the $5 million homes. If you go on TV and they have that show $1 Million Listing, okay, and you are the luxury agent, you drive the luxury car, you wear that luxury outfit, and you take luxury listings, that's awesome. There's people that work luxury. So now you're choosing to work in a certain demographic. Because some of you will be first-time home buyer specialists. But it's sort of funny because when you decide to be a first-time home buyer specialist, then there's things that you need to be able to do. You need to do seminars for first-time home buyers. Are you doing those? Yes? No? Are you doing talks to first time home buyer, like a community events, like the SHRA, Sacramento Housing Redevelopment Agency. There's different places that offer the special home buyer assistance programs, and they'll bring in realtors to talk to the people that are getting these little down payment assistant grants, Acorn program, whatever, all these programs. Are you even familiar with those programs? If you're a first time home buyer, a specialist, are you even familiar with those programs? If not, then how can you call yourself a first time home buyer specialist? Does that make sense? What I'm trying to teach you is that when you decide to do this business, okay, I want you to write down this word, because this word is going to be very, very important, okay, to you moving forward in this business. You know what that word is? It's called ultra specialization. There's a concept in this business called ultra specialization. Okay? The more knowledge you have in a more specific field, the more you separate yourself from the competition. Okay? That's the only way you will ever make a consistent living in this business. Every top producer I've ever had in my company, okay, has always found themselves in some type of ultra specialization. My top producing Filipino agents found a big niche in the Filipino community. My top producing Chinese agents had found a niche in the Chinese community. My top producing Russian agents found their niche in the Russian community. My top producing agents in general found a niche in a certain area, a certain price range. You find that niche and you have to sell on that niche. Does it make sense?
You're absolutely right.
Okay? Because you know why? Who makes more money? The brain surgeon or the general practitioner? The brain surgeon. Because why? Because who makes more money, most of the time? The orthodontist or the general dentist? Normally the orthodontist, right? The reason why that is because for every 20 dentists, there might be 1 or 2 oral surgeons, right? The 20 dentists will send all of their clients to the one oral surgeon. You see? Right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that the reason why I'm teaching everyone, thank you, Linda. Hey, Linda. Up. The reason why I'm teaching you this is not because all of your deals will be foreclosure homes, but your ability, and then can you pull these up for me on here? Your ability to do the foreclosure homes, just pull it up on the computer, I can go through these things. The ability to do foreclosure homes is because we want you, in the eyes of the client, to look like you're a specialist. So when they come to you, you don't just, it's not you're just working with, a normal buyer. You could work with every buyer. Does it make sense? You could work with people that want to buy foreclosure homes, which is the investors. You could work with people that on short sales because they're having a little bit of a hard time. I'm going to give you some insight in a down market. I told you last week. When I told you last week, how many percent does the market have to go down in order for you and your clients to go underwater? What did I say? 5%. You know why? Because most people, when they buy their home, okay, the general conventional loan is 5% down. The normal FHA loan is 3.5% down. Okay? The normal VA loan is 0% down. So between 5, 3.5, and 0, if the market goes down 5%, you have an abundance of people that are underwater. And when I say underwater, I also say underwater because it takes 5 to 6% commission to sell a home normally, right? Plus closing costs. So the market goes down 5%, technically they're 10% underwater. 10, 15% underwater. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. When the economy goes down at all, how many of you think that the market goes up forever? How many of you think the market goes up forever? Nobody. Everyone understands the market works in cycles, right? I don't see this next recession going down 50% like it did last time. I don't see the $1 million home going down to 500,000. But I don't see the $1 million home going up to 1.2 million either. That $1 million home could go down to 800 for 5 or 6 years. Then it'll go back up again. Okay? I don't know if you guys follow. They did say that this time the recession is not real estate based recession. You guys understand that? This coming recession is not a real estate based recession. It's not based on the fact that all these people bought the homes for no money down, all these crazy pick a payment, pay option arms are going to reset. You don't have a lot of that. Okay? The recession this time around is based on what? What do you if you've been reading, what's the recession this time around?
Interest
Huh?
In technology.
What?
interest rates.
Jobs.
Global trends.
Yeah, stocks, war, Middle East going on, war and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the recession this time around is really the shift in the types of jobs that are going to be shifted to other countries. It's a shift in how things work. It's a shift in technology. I'll give you everyone an example. One of the biggest factors in America, okay, for companies is the cost of labor. Okay? And in other countries, you get a college graduate who don't come in late, who don't come in late. And I'm not saying everyone comes in late here, but I'm saying you have an abundance of workers that are college graduates in other countries that are willing to work for 1/5 of what people are willing to work here. And so these days, when you pick up the phone and you call customer service for many companies, you hear people with accents. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a phone customer call center. So it's overseas call centers. Another big shift in technology is the use of robots. Amazon employs more robots than people. Do you know that? Amazon employs more robots than people. Their robots can work 24 hours a day and don't require benefits. Does that make sense? They do pay them. The cost of creating them, the cost of running them, which is electricity, the cost of maintaining them, they do pay their robots, But their robots, can do so much more work. So technology, like for example, we were talking about that. The future of a Domino's delivery pizza is in a non-manned driving vehicle. They already have them driving around as test subjects. So basically, you order pizza, they drive, the non-driver car comes to your door and sends you a text message saying your pizza's here. You walk out to the car, you push a code, the pizza pops out. Hot, because they have ovens in the car. So the pizza pops out hot. Does that make sense? The reason for economy collapse is the death of the retail industry. These days, they They had this commercial I thought was a really funny commercial yesterday. And it was an eBay commercial last night that I saw. Okay? And you know what I saw last night on the eBay commercial? Is these people who are all these, imagine this commercial where all these people, like these different groups of people from different scenes, and they're in retail stores. So these two people are in a clothing store, and they look at the price tag, and they start laughing. And they have their phone out and they start laughing, giggling. This other guy's in this other store, in a bicycle store, and he pulls it out, the price tag, and he pulls out his phone and starts laughing. And they did like 5 or 6 scenes of all these people laughing, right? And then they showed the price tag and they showed eBay. They showed the $1,400 price tag and the $500 price tag. They showed the $89 price tag and the $20 price tag. They showed the $700 price tag and the $300 price tag, and everyone's laughing. And they said eBay. You know what I'm saying? Because isn't that what we do these days? I mean, in reality, have you ever been to a store, looked at the price tag, taken out your phone, gone to Amazon or eBay, and basically looked through the internet and saw what it was sold for on Amazon? So much that when you go into Fry's, when I go into Fry's, before I pay for something, I tell them to run an Amazon search for me. And almost 100% of the time, they have to reduce the price. Oh yeah. Because they say we match internet pricing. So when I'm there at Fry's buying something, I say, "Oh, can you run an Amazon?" I don't even run it anymore. Just when I get to the point where I go get to the person to pay, "Oh, can you run an Amazon search for me?" And right in front of my eyes, they take their $500 price down to $400. Right in front of my eyes. They'll sit there and they have Amazon right there. They actually scan the Q code on the product code, and it'll go right up on the Amazon. They'll do an Amazon search for you. You don't have to do it yourself. Oh, can you price match it for me? Boom, they'll run the Amazon on there for you. You see what I'm saying? That's how the industry has changed. Okay? So the reason what I'm trying to tell you is that the reason why I'm teaching you guys how to do foreclosures is because number one, I think the market in the next 2 years will have an abundance of short sale opportunities for you. Now, me teaching you how to do these short sales doesn't mean that you're guaranteed business. You know what it means? It means that now you have to go out there and educate your ultra specialization niche. Okay? You have to inform them that, hey, I could help you with your short sales. Does it make sense? But if you're able to do that, I think you'll be able to pick up a lot of deals. If you're able to do that, I think you can pick up some good deals, okay? Does that make sense? Listings. And from those listings, guess what? Once you're a short sale person, then you'll have plenty of buyers who want to buy these properties. Okay? You have plenty of buyers because you know why? When buyers know that the best deals in the market is a short sale, they'll go be looking for short sales. Is that right? I'm telling you. When buyers know the best deal in the market is a short sale, it's not REO. It's not going to get to that point yet. People are selling it before the REO. Right? You know what a big advantage? You know what a huge advantage of the short sale versus buying an REO is? Someone tell me. Let's think. I want to get you guys thinking. The huge advantage of buying a short sale versus an REO, or versus the courthouse steps when it's on foreclosure, is that you can buy the short, no, there'll be competition, but you can buy the short sale at the minimum the bank is willing to take, so the bank's losing money. At the auction, you have to pay cash. The short sale, you get normal financing. The people that buy at the courthouse steps have to pay cash. if you buy the property before it gets there, you get to put your 5-10% down, 3% down. You can go FHA. You guys understand that? So if you are a short sale specialist, you get the listing and you get to offer it to the open market. And people who buy it like a normal home. You let it go to the courthouse step, whoever can buy it are only the people who are buying it cash. And normally you're buying it for what is owed to the bank or more. Whereas if it's a short sale, the bank is willing to sell it for less than what is owed to the bank. Even a better deal. You guys understand that? Am I throwing things at you that you didn't think about? Okay. I hope you're writing this stuff down, because this is the type of things that when that pops out of your mouth, you sound pretty knowledgeable, right?
When the house is in a term underwater and they're about to be, if they owe money on the property and they can't pay it, what does that lead to?
Foreclosure.
Foreclosure, and you just mentioned the short sale.
Short sale is when you sell the property and the bank takes a loss, but they're allowing you to sell it. So you don't have to pay the bank everything that's owed.
So they're able to do a short sale rather than get foreclosed?
Yeah. That's a short sale.
Sure that.
Okay? All right? This is the part where you negotiate with the bank to allow the buyer to get out from that debt, pay the bank less, and not have it be a foreclosure on their record. Okay? That's a short sale. All right? So let's go over the paperwork we need. Okay? All right, so this is our updated 2019 foreclosure package. Okay? This is able to be found from our back office. I do want to mention this before I forget, though. Okay? Okay. So this has been going out. If you're part of the SAR, you might have seen it, but a lot of us don't open our emails from SAR. So I just want to announce it real quick. Next week, before I forget, we have our mandatory monthly compliance meeting. Okay? Every month we go over compliance. We do take roll at our compliance meetings to show, that you attend our compliance meetings. Okay? It is not only for our E&O insurance, but it's also, it's good business practice to always be up to date on what's going on, right? Okay? Our compliance meetings are fun. Okay? We always introduce, new agents that join to get the new agents to, sort of mingle around with the seasoned agents. Okay? We're starting something new. We're doing these real nice gold and silver medals for people that had good months in the company, and we'll be handing out these gold and silver medals for you to, start displaying on your walls or at home, okay? Feel recognized. This one, because it's this one, we always have a potluck for our compliance meetings. So next week, we have our potluck too, okay? So bring your favorite hot dish. Hopefully you make it instead of buy it. Potluck is not a bag of chips, okay? All right? So hopefully you bring something from your traditional dish for potluck to share, okay? So we'll have a potluck to have lunch, okay? So next week is our compliance meeting. Yeah, I think you should have gotten emails on it already, but if you haven't, you'll get you get the emails and everything on it. But next week's our potluck, okay? Potluck, all right, and compliance meeting, okay?
What date is that?
Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday.
11?
Yep, 11. All right, next Tuesday at 11. All right. So now, but if you are good enough, they are collecting donations for, it's for the Women's Center. Okay, the Women's Center is a center that takes care of women who were involved in, domestic violence and have kids and don't have places to stay, don't have food, that are in bad relationships and they needed help, okay? So this program is to help those people that, aren't so fortunate as us. Okay, so if there's any kind of meals or anything that you'd like to donate to this cause, and they have kids too, so baby stuff that you don't use anymore. If there's anything you'd like to donate, please bring it next week. Okay? All right. So I mentioned that. Okay, it's for a good cause. Okay, and we try as a company to so if you have canned foods or what have you in at home that you're not using, then just bring it. Okay? All right. So it's canned food drive, okay, and baby materials or even home stuff. Have toothbrushes or toothpaste or whatever you want to donate, you can do that, okay? All right, so it's good. And then that's next Tuesday, okay? So we always try to do good things for the public, for the community as well. Okay, so this is the short sale package. The short sale package is found in your back office. We have a specific company back office, okay? That's not in the Berkshire Hathaway back office. The Berkshire Hathaway back office is for Berkshire in general. But we have a company, the office back office. Okay, we have an office one. If you need the access to the office one, very easy. You send Sajudin an email, and he'll give you the code and log in. He's our tech manager. You just send him a quick email, and he'll give you the login for the back office. Okay, it's very easy. So our back office has our commission demands, has all like the company stuff, all of your contracts, everything's there.
Which part of the back office is it in?
Oh, no, they're uploading it today because we just finished the package today, okay? All right, so it'll be on there today. So this is the short sale package. I'll go over it with you, okay? All right, so this is the contents of our short sale package. Okay,
Did we get one?
what?
Did we get one?
Yeah, online. It's online. I just didn't want to sit here and print all of it out. I mean, you don't need it just yet, okay? All right, so these are the forms that are on the short sale package. I'll go over each form with you. All right? Okay? So the first one is a short sale log sheet. Okay? When you do a short sale package, there's disclosures and certain things that you do need in it, okay? That's why, to be honest, it's so funny, but a lot of agents have never worked short sales before, and they don't know how to work it. They're afraid of it, okay? But if you do it, you can get a lot of listings. I mean, there's times where agents don't want to work short sales, they'll refer you the deal. Even from other companies, they'll take a referral fee and refer you the deal, okay? So the first form is the short sale log sheet. This form, thank you. This form is important. Okay, when you get this form has the information for loss mitigation. So all this form is your borrower's, the address, your borrower's information, and the information for the first and the second. Okay, and it allows you some information in here to just put comments. Hey, called on this date or loss mitigation so you can remember, okay? But this form is a very simple form. It's the place where you put the first and the second, okay? All right? Okay, so I know you can't read, so I'll read it to you. Basically, it says first mortgage loan number, because don't ask for the loan number, the balance of the loan. This is an area for you to put customer services phone and then loss mitigations phone, okay? And loss mitigations phone. If they assign you a processor or a assigned negotiator or workout specialist. So there's 4 phone numbers that you can get when you're working in short sales. You have the main phone number, but then they'll get you to loss mitigation. And loss mitigation might be able to give you a number directly to loss mitigation. So you don't have to go through all those options. Does it make sense? Once you're in loss mitigation, they will assign you, some banks will assign you the loss mitigation processing department, and some will assign you what we call a workout specialist. When you're dealing with a specific person. All right? So a lot of the big banks, they have loss mitigation, and they'll assign you a workout specialist. You guys understand that? And that's where you put their phone numbers in there. Okay? So you're a signed negotiator or workout specialist, okay? So you're actually dealing with people, but the people there are working through parameters, okay? And then we put the information for the second. The reason why we do that is because I don't know how many rookie short sale people are out there, but there are rookie people out there that don't even ask them for a second. They don't even find out about the second until it's too late. Okay? Now, sometimes you ask the client, is there a second? The client didn't even understand there was a second.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
When they got the loan, their loan officer at that time might have done it as a first and a second. It's called a piggyback. And to them, to their eyes, I only put 5% down. For me, I only owe 1%. Does it make sense? So don't just ask the client. Okay? Don't just ask the client. Ask for the statement. It'll show it. Even order the prelim. The prelim will show it. Does it make sense?
Yes.
And look carefully on the prelim to see if there's a second. You understand? Okay? In short sales, okay, even more important, there's never been a more important time for you to carefully look at the preliminary title report. Because it's not just seconds. Okay? There's also other liens too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like utility liens and everything that have to be paid off. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Tax liens. Okay, certain things. Okay?
Okay.
You guys got that?
Yes.
Okay. So you got to look at the prelim. Okay?
Okay.
And sometimes the clients don't know, but there's silent seconds too. Silent seconds. You know, just like the neighborhood program from the government. But more so than that, silent seconds are like the Sacramento Housing Redevelopment Agency. You know, some people, they buy homes on 0 down payment. And the 5% down they put is actually a government sponsored program. You know, all these type of programs have like down payments assistance programs. Does that make sense? Huh?
Like Shadab.
Yeah, the CHDAB. So these are down payment assistance programs that are recorded as seconds. Does it make sense? So the client don't even remember they have a second. But so when you're starting these short sales, you got to know, okay? All right? Okay, so that's our log sheet. The next form we have,
I have a question.
yeah.
The good neighbors, the second one, second silent, as long as in 3 years, it will be forgiven.
Yeah,
What
it's
if
forgiven
they-
after
what if
3
it-
years.
What if they have sell it before?
Then it's not forgiven.
There's no.
Then they cannot do even.
Then you have to pay it. You don't live there for 3 years, you have to pay it. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
You're getting half off. Trust me, don't sell it. Okay? Yeah, wait, you gotta wait. Okay? Alright, next one is the 45016. We put that in the program. We put that in the program because they'll always ask for a 45016, okay? Which is just basically just your tax transcript, okay? Okay, the banks want to see that. All right, the next ones are the ones that are in your zip forms, okay? Okay, this is one of the disclosures that I talked to you about last week that you'll need in your file. This is the short sale advisory form that you always have to disclose when you're in a short sale situation. Short sale information advisory. Okay, if you start doing short sales, you gotta sit down and just sit and read this once. Okay, make sure you read through it, understand what's in the short sale advisory. Okay. You know, it's funny. We happen to be in a profession where you're handling deals that are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars range. I bet you, most of you have never sitting down and thoroughly read even our purchase contract.
I
No, and that's the truth. Okay? So I don't know who has, who hasn't. I'm just saying that, one day, as you're in this profession, that should have been the first day you started doing this business, but you should have sat down and just read it once. Read the whole entire thing. Take notes, something you don't understand, you can ask me if you want, okay? But if you're doing these contracts, at least read it once. Some people have done 100 of these contracts and they still haven't never read the contract. They just know that on page 1 and 2 you check a bunch of boxes, you get to skip all the way to page 7. Everything's already defaulted in there, and then boom, put in your information, done. No, trust me, there's a lot of top producers that have never even read their contract. Okay? You know why I know when you haven't read it? You'll ask me questions. Like, do I need a 48-hour notice to perform? So isn't that in your contract? Oh, where is that? Is it in the contract? Yeah, it's in the contract. So their 100th deal, you still ask me that question?
It's read it sometimes, but it's too much, and then cannot remember.
Yeah, I know, but read it once. So this short sale addendum, read it. Okay, read it. Okay, there's a short sale addendum. Okay, there's a short sale addendum you need to include as well. The short sale advisory is just the advisory. This is the addendum. Okay? Okay, this is the short sale addendum. Okay? Okay, so you got to include the short sale addendum form. Again, I can't, we don't have the time in class so we could sit there and read the addendum together. So again, I need you to read this addendum. All right? This is the addendum actually you would include in your purchase agreement. All right? Now, how this addendum protects your buyers is that when you include this short sale addendum with your purchase agreement, you're giving the lenders 45 days to respond to your offer. Okay? And if the lender refuses to respond, then you can just cancel and go to another property. Okay? This is one of the things on the addendum, okay? Okay? But the addendum also says, and we'll go over it, is that whatever you offer and whatever is accepted by the seller, if you are representing the seller, you want to have this addendum in the offer as well. Because it also says in there that whatever the seller accepts, if the lender doesn't accept it, then there's no deal. Does that make sense? So it relieves the responsibility of the seller accepting something, and then now they're going back, hey, seller accepted it. If the lender accepted it, then you got to give me your home for free, or whatever it is. It's like, so it relieves that liability, okay? Does it make sense? Because any kind of offer that's made on a short sale, okay, without these addendums, binds the seller into selling their property for that price. Does it make sense? So that's why you have to have these short sale addendums, because the addendum itself has language in there that says that the seller is accepting this offer, but it's subject to a normal contract. Is this, if the seller accepts an offer, it's the seller's responsibility to make sure there's no liens, right? And then they'll be liable for a breach and damages. But in a short sale situation, whatever offer they accept it, but they don't have the liability to honor that contract unless the lender approves of it. Does that make sense? It's in here, okay? So like I said, read through it so you understand what's being said. Okay? This is a CAR form. This next form is a CAR form. It's called the Mortgage Assistance Relief Services Short Sale Negotiation Notice. This one I will read to you. Okay? This is our form with our old client. Okay? This notice concerns a short sale of real property situated between the seller and the broker. This notice is required by the Mortgage Assistance Relief Services Rule when taking a short sale listing or at the time of the listing agent becomes aware of the sale will require lender consent, whichever comes first. So if you ever take a short sale listing, you need to have this form, okay? If the listing agent will be communicating with short sale lenders regarding their consent to a short sale. Okay, this is something to work with our client, is if this is a short sale, we're helping in the short sale negotiations, our client may stop doing business with us at any time. You may accept or reject the offer of mortgage assistance we obtain from your lender or servicer, okay? If you reject the offer, you do not have to pay us. So we're telling the client that, hey, you know, the mortgage release service, you know, they'll either accept your offer to, you know, short sale or not. If you don't want to take their offer, then you don't have to pay us. If you accept offer, you will have to pay us a certain amount of money. Okay? Our name is not associated with the government, and our service is not provided by the government. Even if you accept this offer or use our service, your lender may not agree to change your loan. If you stop paying your mortgage, you could lose your home and damage your credit rating. Okay? Remember I told you that we never advise our clients to stop paying their mortgage.
Right.
Now, some lenders will not talk to us until they're late.
Right.
But in this new environment coming up, as long as you can show a hardship, they're supposed to talk to you.
If you can actually speak to
In
the
this
supervisor.
class, there's a class online, the client must take
Yeah.
to make them understand what's a short sale.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to, also taxes, you know.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna go over it now. So,
Yeah. So there's an online class they have to take to understand what a short sale is. Okay? Okay. Even though you decide to discontinue using our services, you may still have obligations to the buyer if you've entered into a purchase agreement. Okay? Alright, so this is a form that you need to have. Alright. So that's one form. Next thing that we have online to you, it seemed like a long list, but it's really not that bad because not all of these things apply, okay? In the back office, we have a company checklist, okay, of items that you may need for a short sale. We have a company checklist back there, okay? You know, these are things that you might need to collect. You don't have to collect them all, but you give this checklist to the client. Hey, if you have these, get these to me. Okay, pay stub, tax return, IRS form 4506T, bank statement, mortgage statement, hardship letter, supporting documents of the hardship, you know, sale date notice from lender, all this kind of stuff, okay? Okay, so it's just a checklist of things that you might need to collect. You don't have to collect it all up front, but eventually you might need to collect these, okay? All right? The next form is what I told you about last week. This is the borrower financial information form. This is our company one, okay? This is the borrower financial information form. So this is what you would have them fill in, okay, if they're going to be applying for a short sale with their lender, okay? The form is pretty simple. It looks like there's a lot, but there's not, okay? All it asks is name, birthday, social, mailing address, and then it just asks questions like, do you rent? Or I mean, do you own this property or are you renting it out? You know, is the property listed for sale? You know, have you contacted credit counseling? You know, did you pay the property taxes? Are you in bankruptcy? You know, like where do you work? What's your income? Okay, what are your expenses? What are your payments? What are your credit cards? What are your auto payments? What's your auto insurance? How do you pay for daycare? How much do you pay for food, electric, trash, cable, internet, child support, medical expenses?
It's the same form they use for bankruptcy.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know, but you know. I don't know.
I found it 3 times.
Okay. Don't file it again. Okay. Hope you find some place in your life where you don't have to file it too many times. Okay. Okay. So when you look at this, now it's so funny because people actually fill these out and technically, yeah, there's a sign-in sheet. Just it's hovering around, so sign in and pass it back. Okay. If you make too much income,
Right.
you're not in a hardship.
Yes.
Okay? So as you're filling this out, if the client somehow makes a ton of income, they're not going to get approved. Okay? So that's all I have to say. You know, I mean,
No exposed income.
huh?
It's supposed to be no, the bottom line, no exposed income.
Okay.
No extra, that's it.
Yeah.
Break even or negative.
Yeah, no, yeah. So technically, you're not supposed to have a whole bunch of excess income, okay? As they fill it out, if they have a whole bunch of excess income, chances are they're not going to be in a hardship, okay? That's all.
Even value went down too?
Well, value going down doesn't mean that you automatically qualify for a short sale. A short sale is when there's a hardship, okay?
And also the bank or the lender will ask for the stocks, the bills, and how you pay for the daycare.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
How you pay, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's on the checklist too. You know, like as you put information in, then they're going to ask you to verify the stuff that's true. You know what I'm saying? So when you qualify for a short sale, they want you, if you're saying you have these expenses, they might ask for you to provide proof, okay? Yeah, provide proof that you have these expenses, okay?
Robert, I have one secret.
Okay, what's the secret?
I tried one time, 3 times, they denied it. And then she said, sir, you have credit cards. Then I pulled all the money out of credit cards. And 4th time I applied, they did it.
They approved it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So
Good.
we need to make hardship in papers, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like what he's saying is that, you know, like he had a hardship, but he didn't realize that he had all these credit card payments,
Right.
and he never put it on his application.
No, I didn't use any credit card.
Oh, you used it.
Then after that I used it.
Oh, okay. There you
You
go.
maxed them out? You maxed them out?
Yeah.
Credit cards? Yeah.
Okay.
And then I put it. Then I
Okay.
prove it.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah.
And then you put it back, the money.
No, I have it in the bank.
They look at the date.
But I pay off credit cards, of
They
course.
will
Yeah.
come back.
They will look at the date.
Okay. Yeah. So there's, well, like I said, you know, I'm not teaching to do that.
Right.
Okay.
But it was a really hardship, you know, I cannot make any.
Hey, we have you on tape here, man. Okay, so I wouldn't even. Okay. All right. Okay.
So Robert, I think in 2008, a lot of people thought that when their losing home equity meant they had a hardship, and that's why people were just.
Yeah, losing home equity doesn't mean that's a hardship.
And people walk away from their homes unnecessarily.
But actually, the lenders actually ended up doing principal mortgage reductions.
Yes, yes,
You know that, right?
yes.
The lenders, I mean, I think that's what he got, is a principal mortgage reduction. You know what that means? That's the best type. Is basically they said, okay, you no longer owe us $600,000. Now you only owe us $350.
Oh, wow.
Right.
But not all do that.
Not all of them did that, but a lot of them did that. By the end of the time, by the end of it, you know, there's a lot of people that didn't know that companies were doing principal mortgage reductions. You know, like at first when they're called loan modifications.
Yes.
At first, the mods came from giving you 6 months to not have to pay to catch up,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But you still owed the entire amount.
Yeah.
Some went, okay, we'll take your 30-year loan and we'll extend it out 40 years,
Yeah.
Right.
right? So that's another way of modifying. Some reduced your interest rate to 2 or 3%. That under the Obama program. they reduced it from your regular interest rate to 2%, but only for a certain period of time, right? Okay, Home Affordable Mortgage Program, that's what they did. They took like whatever your interest rate was, reduced it to 2%, so you could make that payment. But the most beneficial one for the client, and the one that that the lenders, I mean, that they just didn't want all these foreclosures back. They just straight out gave you principal mortgage reduction. So I mean, there are people that owed 500, boom, now they owe only 300. They got to keep their home. The crazy thing about it, they were doing it. So like the crazy thing about it is like someone would have a home that was used to be worth 700, but they owed 700, right? And then they reduced the mortgage down to like 300 because like they would like prove to the bank that now it's only worth like 350. They reduced it down to 350, but that was during the time when the market was low. All of a sudden, in the past 7 years, that same home has climbed back up to 700. So when the property climbed back to 700, now they have 350,000 in equity. Oh yeah, no, it was crazy.
I know. I had two.
Yeah.
One loan was in Rancho Cordova for 350. We did modification for a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And they reduced it to 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mortgage was like maybe $500, $600.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And now the home's worth 400 now, 500.
Yeah, now it's back to 300s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See?
they have equity now, so they were surprised.
Yeah. So happy.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you understand this, man, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Robert,
Some lender, what they did is they did a keeping loan,
Huh?
a keeping loan, a portion of your savings deposit, put it aside, and no interest on that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like a silent second. That's like a second. Yeah. Yeah.
but Robert, there is another program, HAM 2.
Huh?
You know, First Obama HAM program
Yeah.
was like 5 year 2%,
Yeah.
then 3, then 4,
Yeah.
then 5%.
Yeah.
But after those periods gone, there is another one, HAM 2. You can reapply again.
Uh-huh.
They can lower it again.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, just so you know, there's all types of programs. When you're in this world, you'll learn all types of programs. And we teach on that. So we taught, I mean, back then I was doing all types of classes on that. So when you're with our company, you're always sort of up to date on all the newest things, you know what I'm saying? All right, so that's the financial program, that's the form they have to fill out. Okay, it's a 2-page form. Okay? All right, so that's that form. All right. This one might be a little bit redundant. Okay? I normally have the clients fill out the short-term questionnaire rather than the longer one to start out, okay, just to get me started. And then later on, when we're in the process, then I'll have them fill out the more detailed one, take it home and fill it out. So we have another homeowner's questionnaire in here, but if you have them do the detailed one first, then you don't have to have them fill out this form, okay? Yeah. Because once people know that you know how to do these, oh man, you know, I had agents that were getting like 10 people a week, you know, helping 10 people a week. All right? Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Back in the day, I don't know if what you call it, but back in the day, people were actually assisting clients with the short sale or modification. And they would charge just like $5,000 or $2,500 to $5,000 for the modification itself. So like, anyone in here ever do a modification? Oh, you did? Mods? Yeah. So a modification is, and then people will go through these crazy attorneys. I mean, we could do it too, but they would charge like anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000. But then there was a lot of fraud from these these companies. A lot of fraud. These people would pay $5,000 to have their loans to try to have some modification done, and then these people would do nothing and have their home go to foreclosure anyways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Robert, I have a friend. He was always asking me the question, but he hired someone else, another company, and they took 5,000 and no more company there. They closed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. But everyone and their mother was trying to modify their home, so these companies made millions doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they would charge up front. Like for us, we've never charged any upfront. We're not allowed to charge upfront fees. Once it's done, then you can pay. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it's done, you can pay. But unless it's agreed, then you don't have to pay a dime. Okay. Okay. So next one's authorization to release lender information. Okay. Basically, this is the form that allows us to talk to the lenders. And they have to name the lender, so we can send the lender. So remember I told you last week, this is the authorization form that allows us to speak to their lenders. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this form, all right, allows us to speak to the homeowners associations. Okay, this is the form that allows us to speak to the homeowners associations. Okay, this is the next form, the authorization and release information homeowner association. That's all. Okay, if there's a homeowner association.
Can we see the name of the?
Yeah, it's just called the seller's authorization to release homeowners association information. HOA information. Okay. And then we have all these forms in order for you in your back office. We'll have it all in order as a packet, okay? Next one is a financial hardship disclosure form. This is the one where they would sign and we would return to the, give to the lender as their financial hardship. So this is our financial hardship disclosure form. Say and then this is the reason why. I like, please complete the form. I believe my situation. So it basically says here, it says here, return with supporting documentation. I have been unable to make my payments due to the following financial difficulties. I believe my situation is permanent or temporary. My financial difficulties are a result of, you mark about excessive financial responsibilities, personal credit card so-and-so. There's an illness, there's an income reduction, there's death. These are my details, and we can sign and we can send. So we actually put together, and a lot of these forms we created within our company, okay?
So how many forms go together? How many forms there?
No, just this one. Oh, but then the next form we have is a sample financial hardship letter. Okay? So some lenders, they're okay with this financial disclosure form, but some lenders will want the actual letter, hardship letter, signed by them. So we have both the form, but then we also have the hardship letter right behind it. Okay? You can do one or the other. Okay? So we have the financial hardship form right here. Yeah.
Is there a difference between handwritten and typed?
No, I don't. No. Okay. As a matter of fact, typed I think is better because then they can read it. Handwriting sometimes hard to read. Okay. All right. Okay. This is our financial hardship letter sample. Take the verbiage, copy it as you please, and tailor it for them. Okay, now these are some important forms. This form is to protect our company and you. Our first form is called an indemnity form. As you can see, we don't let you just go out there and get yourself in trouble and not know what the heck you're doing. That's why we have all these forms, okay? This is an indemnity form. Okay, this is a form where it says seller understands that the listing agent cannot provide or will not provide seller any kind of legal or tax advice. Okay? Because, we're not lawyers and we're not CPAs. Okay? Sellers agree to seek independent and or tax counsel pertinent to the sale of their home. Remember I mentioned to you guys last week that they could possibly receive a 1099 for the losses sustained by the bank.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The sellers shall contact an appropriate real estate attorney or CPA to obtain counsel related to the implications and questions the sellers may have regarding the sale of their home. The sellers acknowledge that they have been given the opportunity and have been advised to discuss this transaction with an independent, qualified legal and tax counsel, and have done so to the extent desired by the seller. It's up to them. Sellers acknowledge their receipt of a short sale advisory and understand that it is for general information purposes only and not intended for legal or other professional services or advice. Furthermore, the sellers are advised to review thoroughly the short sale addendum to the listing agreement. So remember, we have to do the short sale addendum. Seller agreed there have been no guarantees, promises of sale, no warranties implied or otherwise as to the timing of the sale, sales price, or any probability of the sale made to the seller by the listing agent or the brokerage. But what does that mean? It means that once we take the short sale listing, it doesn't mean we can guarantee we can sell it for them. And we can't guarantee that the bank will take it. And we can't guarantee that they won't lose their home to foreclosure. Does it make sense? All right? We can't guarantee any of that. We just try our best. Okay, information provided to the seller is for informational purposes to assist the seller in making an educated decision regarding selling their home. Information provided by the listing agent is only one source of information. Seller should obtain independent qualified legal and tax counsel. Broker and agent are not qualified to provide any legal or tax information regarding the sale of this transaction. Seller agreed to hold listing agent and brokers harmless against any claims, demands, liabilities, actions, proceedings, judgments, fines, or any other expenses without limitations that could have been investigated by the seller prior, during the sale, or expiration of the cancellation of the short sale transaction for the property defined below. Seller agreed that by signing this release, seller are entering into a sales transaction voluntarily and have not been advised or given any have been given the opportunity to consider all alternatives regarding the sale of their home. Listing agent has made no oral representation, statements, or inducements to the seller regarding the sellability, terms, price, and or legal or tax consequences of the sale. Okay? So we put that together because, I mean, we're going to help them sell their home, but we don't want to be liable for them not being able to sell their home and losing their home to foreclosure and saying, my agent, does it make sense? Right? That's important, isn't it? Okay. So that's our indemnity agreement, okay? That we have them sign.
Have you experienced representing the homeowner's listing and being the buyer?
Being the buyer?
Or is that?
I haven't.
Is that
Arm's length transaction?
Yeah.
No, the person selling their property cannot have a relative buy that home. The listing agent, if they want to buy it, they could buy it. There's no problem with that. Okay, as long as they're not relatives. Okay, but someone selling their home cannot sell it to a relative. Does that make sense? Okay, that's an arm's length transaction. There's disclosure forms that are signed that said they prohibit arm's length transactions. Okay, so the person selling their home can't sell it to a relative. Okay, because then could be a fear of mortgage fraud. Okay, all right. Next one is just a privacy notice. This one just says that we will make sure that everything you give to us is kept private. Now, I tell this to all loan officers, but I also tell this to all people handling these types of things. Man, when you collect all this information from your client, you better not leave it laying around where it can be stolen. You don't leave it in briefcases in your car. You don't leave it unlocked at the office or at home. If you have a cubicle here at our company, you do not leave it in a file sitting on top of your desk. You do not make copies and forget it on the printer. Okay? All right? Do not lose your client's information. Scan it in, get it to whoever you need to get it to, and delete it. Does that make sense? Okay? So make sure we keep, this is just a privacy protection notice. Next one is a foreclosure disclaimer. This basically says that during the time that we're doing the short sale, your home, okay, they may or may not stop the foreclosure process. will try to get them to stop the foreclosure process, but it doesn't mean that they will stop it forever. You know, some people, they actually try to get into the short sale situation to live in the home for free for years.
Oh.
You guys understand that? I've seen people do the short sale process, hire an agent to start that negotiation process, and they use it as a stalling tactic to keep the bank from taking their home, and they get to live there free. And I've seen it done for years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm sure some of you have had clients in the past, they stopped making their payment, the bank just didn't foreclose, and they lived in their property free for years. Is that right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You know, there was a time where the banks were so afraid of all these people going to foreclosure that even though the people didn't make payment, they just would not follow through with the foreclosure. So people would just milk it. They would just milk it. You understand? Okay? And then when the market went back up, they stopped milking it, you know? But so this disclaimer says that, we will try to sell your home before it goes to foreclosure. But we can't guarantee that their home is not going to be lost to foreclosure. Make sense? Okay, so that's the disclaimer there. Next one is just the borrower's short sale acknowledgement and agreement, just so they understand that we are doing a short sale for them, and that we don't have a control over any of their lien holders, taxes, and so forth. Okay, this is just acknowledging that this is a short sale. It's a borrower's short sale acknowledgement and agreement. Okay. All right. And then the last two items are two short sale tips that we've put together for you to read. Okay. And this is just an informational thing. It is not meant as legal advice from us to our client. It gives us the general description of the credit implications of a short sale, okay, on taxes and so forth, okay? But that's for you to read and understand, but it's not for us to provide to the client as legal information. So this is for you to know, but not you to give to your client. Make sense? Okay? But it does have a lot of information and background for you to learn. Understanding deed in lieu of foreclosure, partial claims, loan modifications. Okay? Okay? And then just short sale tips right from the back office on realtor.com. All right? Okay? Short sale tips on realtor.com. All right, well, there you have it. This is our short sale packet. All right? If you're able to do all these things, it really stands out. Now, you're not allowed to use this if you're not with our company. Okay? You're not allowed to go in and copy it. You're not allowed to share this with other agents from other companies. Okay? As this is we made these, our confidential information. All right? Okay? But if you're with our company, you're lucky because we have everything. Okay? And we're experienced with it. Okay? We're experienced with it. We're insured for it. But if you know how to do this, when the market turns, like I said, it could turn as fast as this coming January. People think that in January, okay, market might turn. Does it make sense? And then you'll start seeing more and more of these come up for short sales. Does it make sense?
September home sales down.
Huh?
September home sales down.
Yeah.
Home sales down.
Okay. Now one of the things I always train you guys on is that for all of you, in a way, you're all sort of lucky. In a way, you're all sort of lucky. You know why you're lucky? Because most of you in here, okay, most of you in here specialize in a very specific market other than the general market. When these types of things, when this type of economy happens, I see people that specialize in your own cultures. I see you do fine. Does it make sense? If you specialize in first-time home buyer or you specialize in government foreclosures or short sales, your business picks up. Like for example, you know who's like just anxiously waiting for this market to come? The foreclosure and the bank REO people. When this market collapses, the REO people, their volume goes up times 20. You understand that? The Zaretha Thompsons, the Warren Adams, the Randall Hom of the world. Oh man, their market just, right? That's why next week, well not next week, the week after, everyone needs to come to mandatory meeting, but the week after is the class on REOs and how to get into that market. Okay, how to get into that market. Does it make sense? Okay, because if you get into the REO market, oh man, you could be getting a lot of deals. See, the thing is that the REO people that specialize in REOs, technically, they're not supposed to have all of the REOs for the area. The people, loss mitigation and asset managers, they want to give REOs to different people. Okay? It's just you're not qualified. You understand? It's just you're not qualified. You know, I mean, like I said, when you do bank REOs, you have to have money in the bank for cash for keys programs and all types of stuff. You know? So when they ask you these questions, when you ask you these questions, sometimes you don't qualify because you answer the questions wrong. Sometimes you don't qualify because you answer the questions wrong. It's like, hey, what kind of assets do you have? I have no assets. Okay, well, how can you do cash for keys if you have no assets? Does it make sense? Right? At any given point in time, you might have to have $50,000, $60,000 of cash for keys money out. You know, you have to pay sometimes for some of these asset managers. They'll say, "Do you have $100,000?" You know, sitting there because you might have to do the trash outs. You know, before they give you, but you have to pay for it. They reimburse you. And if they give you 10 listings, you have to do 10 trash outs, and it costs you $4,000 or $5,000 per trash out. And on top of that, pay $3,000 or $4,000 per home for cash for keys. You know, that's $100 grand.
Hey, Robert, I just got a quick question. When do they give you the money back for the cash for keys?
You know, sometimes 2 weeks to a month.
Okay. But you don't have to wait till the house is sold.
No.
Okay.
But there's an accounting. You'd say, okay, this is what I paid for cash for keys. These are my invoices, and then you bill them, and they refund you back
Okay.
once you've already done it. So you have to put the money out first, and then they reimburse you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it's the government. Sometimes it's like a Fannie Mae you're dealing with. So I mean, it takes them 2, 3, 4 weeks to do anything. So you have to be prepared to have the money gone for a month. You're not going to lose it.
Right.
You're not going to lose it, but you got to be ready for it. But like I said, if you win one of those accounts, I can help you.
Unless the lender is a private lender, you know, sometimes they tell you foreclose and the money is gone. I know a friend of mine, she did put a lot of money, and then they went foreclosure, and she never collected anything, like $50,000, $60,000.
But for what though?
She was doing the cash for keys and clean up the trash and doing this. She was billing.
No. Then she got scammed because
Yeah, scam.
because
Private lender.
yeah, if it's a private lender, the private lender say I'll give you the listing. Yeah, no, that sounds fishy. We only deal with real asset managers. You know, that's yeah, no, then she got scammed. That's all.
I don't know much about this.
Yeah.
Business
Loan modification?
know that.
Huh?
We help the
I'm kind of little lost.
Yeah, no, loan modifications is a service that was pretty popular 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, where agents got involved in loan modifications, where you would charge someone anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 to help negotiate with the bank to either under the HAM program or under whatever program, so that you could get a better terms, and then you would charge the client a fee for that service.
Maybe
Okay.
have a contract.
Yeah, you have a loan modification contract, okay? But a lot of companies that committed fraud, they collected those fees up front, okay? They call it an advanced fee. They collected those fees up front. They never try to modify anything and then let the client's home go into foreclosure. Make sense?
People went to jail on that.
Yeah.
But they cannot foreclose
Huh?
up to 1 year, right?
A lot of lawyers.
I had a client that went to see a lawyer.
Yeah.
He didn't have no experience in real estate,
Yeah.
and he ended up telling her, just call my husband. And
Oh man, there are scams. There are all types of scams. There are even deed scams where people would tell you to transfer your deed over to them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but yeah. Obviously, we're not there to do any of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We represent the lady went to prison for 4 years.
What?
We represent the lady went to prison for 4 years.
Yeah. Okay.
My wife's attorney was 20
And another thing, for the hot homes, they say when I look at the bidding process, they say make sure you inspect house before you put on bidding. That's what it says. You inspect the house before you put on bidding. That means the house is vacant. Actually, you can go inside.
Yeah, you can get a key.
Yeah, get inside and inspect it, but you pay our own, but then we may not get the bid.
Yeah.
So you just spend the inspection fee.
No, you don't do a whole full home inspection on it. You just go look at it.
That's all. But what if it has a termite cover like?
No. Then you have the right to inspect after you close. You know, afterward. Yeah, after
right
too.
to then back out? Is
Yeah,
what
then you can back out.
Okay.
There's a certain period of time you can do your home inspection. You could get the utilities turned on, but the agent has to put it in their name. Yeah.
How long does this process take from, because I was in one as a buyer and it took us 5 months.
Yeah, 5 months is not uncommon.
So that's,
5, 6 months is not uncommon.
yeah.
You're dealing with a big bank here.
So what is the normal time?
It's pretty normal, 4 or 5 months
Wow.
from the time. No, but sometimes some banks work fast. It's not always the case. Some banks, some works fast, some work very slow. You just have to be in it. You know what I'm saying? Because from the time that you get an offer accepted, you submit it to them, and you give them all the HUD-1 breakdown. I mean the title estimates and so forth. They might get you an answer pretty fast. Sometimes it takes them a while to get you an answer. It's just a lot of waiting. It's not a lot of work. It's just a lot of waiting.
A lot of waiting.
Yeah, just a lot of waiting.
Like if you not put all the information for the bank, if you.
Yeah, and then but this is the qualification process. As their, one of their jobs is to determine if there is a hardship. So you gotta verify the hardship, and because the bank's losing money on this, and then once they tell you, hey, this is what we're gonna take, you have to go back to the buyer and say, hey, buyer, are you willing to up your price? This is what they're willing to take. So all that is just back and forth a little bit,
So
Okay.
we can tell people that we know to do short sale and then you can help us.
What?
So after
Me
this-
personally?
I mean, somebody from the office, because I don't have experience, I was a buyer, but I have not list, but if I find somebody, if I can say, hey, I can do short sale now.
Yeah, no, I can help you to a certain extent, but I'll put you with our processors that know how to do it.
Okay.
But the work you would have to do is say, hey, just call, ask the loss mitigation and talk to them. Collect this paperwork from the client, you know what I'm saying? You're taking this class, I've sort of taught you all I can, take good notes, you know what I'm saying? Watch this video twice, watch it.
So there's a video that's in with Berkshire Hathaway, or is there?
The one that I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. I record these.
No, is there another video that we
No.
can watch? Okay.
No, it's me,
Because
okay?
we have some special video about.
No, this is it, okay?
So they do the loan modification for bigger loans too, like commercial loans?
Yeah, I was.
No, I haven't seen that.
5, 6 months.
All right, let's move forward. Yes?
The most time-consuming items like this during short sale is paperwork, putting the property, identification, loan number on every piece of paper and so forth. How much help is the transaction coordination this company can give during the short sale?
Well, you can't expect that. I mean, you have to. Our TCs are independent. So if you talk to the TC and if you're willing to, you know, pay the TC a little bit more, maybe they can do more for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's up to you and the TC. Okay.
They're
Yeah.
real good.
But they're good. They're good. And our TCs know how to do short sales. Yeah, they know how to do short sales. Okay.
So in the morning, like, basically most of the New York, the banks, you have to go in the morning so you can catch them. After certain hours, they don't answer the phone.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking to loss mitigation, what she's saying, if you're talking to loss mitigation and the bank it happens to be an East Coast bank, then of course they close earlier. You know. Yeah, they'll close earlier. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. No. I gotta keep moving forward. Okay. So there's our package there. All right. Let's see what time we have here, so I can go to the next topic.
You already print for everybody this package?
What? It's in your back office. Okay.
But you said they need to upload it, right?
Yeah, she's uploading it today, so you should have it there by tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So. All right, so I'm going to spend 30 minutes on VAs. Now, like I said, for okay. All right, so listings.vrmco. You can find it here. Listings. VRMCO. This is Vendor Resource Management is the company that has a contract with Department of Veteran Affairs. All right. This is the site for all of the VA foreclosure home listings. Okay. Okay, listings.vrmco.com. Okay. So welcome to the world of VA foreclosures. All right. Okay. Now, like I said, for HUD homes, you know, the thing is that if you learn this valuable information and then you decide to not use this information, okay? I mean, name the broker out there in Sacramento teaching this stuff right now.
You gotta
None.
pay for this.
Okay? And they don't even know how to do it. Pay for it. They're not even signed up with the I mean, they're not even registered to sell these, you know. So the thing is that, you know, what I'm trying to say is that you're learning how to do these things. A short sale. Man, you have the whole packet. We just taught you how to, showed you. We have the HUD homes. We have the VA homes, okay? All right? And the crazy thing about it is now that you know how to do this, if you don't use this as your advantage to separate yourself from the competition, oh yeah, okay. If you don't use this as your advantage, here, I'll hand it out, Linda. I'll just have them take one and what you call it.
Okay.
So it's not distracted. Yeah.
All right,
Is the code on here?
there's no code.
Oh, okay. Here. All right. This is where you go to grab all our information, okay? You keep this confidential here, okay? All right. So this is where you go and grab all the information. Okay? Yeah, you send that back there. There's another stack. Just send it straight back, okay? Yeah. Okay. So like I said, if I give you all this information, you want to tell the world that you know how to do this stuff. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Tell the world you know how to do this stuff. You guys got that?
Yeah.
Because it'll help you stand out. Now, like for example, I'll give you an example. It's always been the case. There's a lot less VA homes than there are HUD homes. HUD homes are FHA foreclosures. VA homes are VA foreclosures. But there's a lot less people who are VA than there are the general public with FHA loans.
Right.
The good thing about VA is normally when a VA home comes off the market, the VA home is already fixed up.
Oh.
Fresh paint, fresh carpet, everything's sort of fixed up. So when you get a VA home, you get a pretty good home. Unlike FHA, the home is as is. How they got it is how they got it. They might do a little cleaning and get all the junk removal, but the homes a lot of times are in as is shape. VA homes a lot of times have new carpet, new paint. You know, everything's like, like inspector went through, sort of, they got it all fresh and habitable. Does that make sense?
Who does it?
Huh?
The lender does it?
No, this company, the management company did it. Just like if you were the ones that started listing these homes, the management company manages all the properties, but a lot of times they'll choose a local company to represent them. For example, if you did these long enough, you could actually ask HUD to list with you. You got the full 3%. You can actually ask VA to list with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know Kevin Cooper and Elk Grove list a lot of the HUD homes for the ones in the Elk Grove area. I used to work with him. He used to be one of our agents. So, I mean, I know these people. They're good guys. For example, I'll give you an example. I bet you, haven't looked, but I bet you anything. If I looked at Sacramento, chances are, if it's in South Sacramento, it's Aretha Thompson. If it's over there in North Sacramento, I bet you it's Randall Hum. Let's see if I know my stuff, okay? So I'll put Sacramento here. And I haven't even looked at it. I haven't been here for a long time. But I'm going to look at homes in Sacramento. Boom, here it is. This is, see, 9784 Red Cedar Circle, 95827. It's on sale right now this minute for $270,000. This home is freshly painted, inside out, probably new carpeting. Okay? Right now, as we speak. Let me click on it.
It's a nice house.
Oh, there you have, look, who's the listing agent on this?
You were right.
Gorian Thompson, that's Aretha Thompson's listing. You see?
Yeah.
These are not on the MLS?
Nope. It's Aretha Thompson, there's a number.
And this kind of houses, you have to pay cash or loan?
No, you get any loan you want. You get financing on it.
So how do you qualify to get the VA listings?
No, you just go up on this website and you just pull them up every week.
Well, do you have to be a VA?
No, but we are. We could submit offers, but this is the offer form you submitted on.
No, it is for VAs only, or any client can buy these.
No, anyone could buy it.
Anyone can
Yeah.
buy this. Robert, I love you.
Anyone could buy these homes.
Nice.
Okay, there's a VA contract package right here and an offer submission template right here. So VA contract package. See? Purchase and sale agreement. It's on the VA form. The crazy thing about it is this form hasn't changed even when I did this 20-some years ago. Looks the same to me.
Anyone can buy this one.
So will they take FHA loan on it too?
What?
Wait, they would take FHA loan?
Any financing.
And anybody.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Are we allowed to negotiate here?
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a cash offer or a term offer, right here, okay, this is just the information you put in. Name of a principal broker, names of salesperson, have them sign, and you send it over to them, and then their addendums are in here too.
Is it 30 days
No, you can ask for more.
or more?
See, the seller disclosure statement, you know, lead-based paint, if it's built before 1978, you know,
If it's repainted, we don't have to.
okay.
How does
The form is easy.
the homes end up
No, well, if someone lost and didn't make payments, if a VA got a loan from VA and they lost a home, then the VA would take it back and put it on the market.
and that's same thing you got for a HUD?
Yeah, same thing, HUDs are FHA loans. Okay? If it's a HUD home, it's a home that had an FHA loan on it, and FHA took it back. If it's a VA home, and it's owned by the Department of Veteran Affairs. Okay, and they're just foreclosing it. So a lot of times these deals are good deals.
Yeah.
What type of program we have for first-time home buyers right now?
What?
Any new program for
No,
first-time home
just
buyers?
ask our mortgage department. There's all types. Okay? But yeah, here's the contract right here on their site. Okay?
So we have to use their form, we don't use our card form, and then.
No.
It looks a lot easier.
Oh, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because this is your bid, and then this is the offer submission template right here, and you could pull it up on Word. Well, I won't pull it up right now, but these are the VAs. I mean, it's pretty simple. You know, what I'm trying to tell you is once you get good at this stuff, you're doing things other agents aren't doing. Companies don't do it. The whole company doesn't do HUDs or VAs. You know, so your ability to set yourself apart. You might sell one a year or two a year, but it doesn't change the fact that you're a foreclosure specialist. Does it make sense? So when you're out there talking to people, say, hey, I'm a foreclosure specialist. You know, I know how to do VA homes. I know how to do HUD homes. I know how to do bank foreclosure. I even know how to do courthouse staff. You know, I work with a company that's very good at it. I might be not the expert at it yet. Don't call yourself an expert if you've never done one, but our company's an expert in that kind of stuff. Make sense? You can win clients that way. You win clients that way. Did you ever call John McCallum, Sue Ann?
Yes,
Did you talk to him? Okay. He said he can try to help you? Okay. Okay, good. See, Sue Ann called me, had a client buy a church, couldn't get the loan with one lender, called me, boom, I just gave it to my commercial guy, you know, and we know how to do that stuff here. You see? So if anyone can do it, he can do it. If he can't do it, then no one else can do it. Okay? That's his specialty. And so those are the kind of resources we have, you know, that we're good at, you know. So this is VA, you know, HUD, VA, and now you're familiar with short sales. We have the whole short sale package, you know. So what does that all mean? It means that at our company you could do more. You know, you're expanding your brain, you know. 8 weeks ago, I mean, for the last 8 weeks, like 4 weeks ago, we did an 8-week class on commercial real estate. You know, teaching you like real high-level commercial. You know, does it make sense? But it doesn't mean anything if you have no clients. Okay, it doesn't mean anything if you have no clients. Okay, all right. So now it's your job. Okay, your job. Okay. Okay, now I have exciting news is within the next 3 to 6 months, we're working with a company, okay, that will do a lot of the minor things for you on a weekly basis. Okay, so I see one major need. Okay, I see one major need, and so I'll give you guys a hint. Okay, a glimpse of it. One major need of realtors is, I bet you if you had the client, you would work very hard for your client. But the disconnect is that you're missing the work you have to do to get that client. That's the major disconnect. Okay? That's the major disconnect. Okay? The major disconnect is consistently going on your computer system and posting things for all of your social media. Consistently going into places like Facebook and Snapchat and those types of tools, consistently using those tools to let people know that now you're a government foreclosure specialist or whatever. I think agents don't do that. I think you consistently don't create new things to get people interested in working with you. You know, I think you consistently don't send out the emails that you're supposed to send out. You don't send out the drip campaigns you're supposed to do, okay? I think that's a major disconnect with the agent market. Is that I bet you if the client was in front of your nose and they wanted to buy a home, I think you work pretty hard to make that commission. But I think the big disconnect of agents is actually doing the little work, doing the work it takes to get in front of that client. So I'm working with a company right now. I'm trying to negotiate a deal with them so they can give us a good price, where their people actually do all of your social media and your drip campaigns. They just do it for you. You put the profile and they do it for you. And if they charge you like $150 a month, I think you would pay it, because I don't think you could do it yourself. You know, I think a lot of you would rather pay. You know, right now their management is like, it's more than that. But I'm trying to negotiate as a group, okay, to see if you can just get them to do it for you. Because I thought to myself, you know, I thought to myself, if you pay them like $150 a month or whatever it is, I'm trying to negotiate. But if I could get them to do it for you, even if you closed one deal for the year, and that deal made you $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $150 a month is only like, what is that? That's like $1,800 for the year. You can close one deal for the year, you make 5 times that money. But you might get a deal a month from it. You know what I'm saying? It's just doing the right things every month. I just think that instead of training you how to do it, I'm trying to work with a company to say, hey, if my agents sign up with you, I want them to do this, 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 and this. Can you just do it for them? And if you do that, then I think a lot of you, I think that'd be a good option, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you'd be interested in something like that. Yeah, that's smart. Okay, so.
It's called virtual assistant.
Yeah, it's like a virtual assistant type of deal. You know what I'm saying?
It's taking too long for them.
Yeah, so I think, like, for example, me, you wouldn't be able to get me to do that, okay, because I don't have the time. But for you, I think you have the time. I just think you just don't have the consistency to do it, okay? So whether it be, so I just have to see, but I'm, and then, you know, normally I would tell you, hey, just hire an assistant or have one of your kids do it for you. But then some of us don't have kids that are good enough to do it for us, or our kids are too busy, and some of us, we don't want to hire a $10 an hour assistant to do that kind of stuff, or no one's going to work for us for 2-3 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? So that's the case. I'm just trying to figure out an avenue where I can just get a virtual assistant, and you just, you know, all as a group, you know, pay into it, and then, you know, they can do that stuff for you every week. You know, does it make sense?
Yes.
Just makes more sense, you know, than that kind of stuff. Because now that you're learning all this new information, man, imagine you properly get it out to people. You know, you properly get it out to people that you're doing these kinds of new, amazing things. Especially like when the market goes bad or goes a little slow, you need to be getting out there. Hey, I do short sales, you know, and then start sending out information regarding short sales and educating everyone you know. But then the problem is that even if you wanted to get information out, most of you don't have an organized database. You don't have an organized way to send it all out at once. Like for example, you guys get my voicemails?
Yeah.
You know, it's easy, right?
Yep.
It's like, you know, I just remind you, hey, get my voicemails. So it's my easy way to get a message across to everybody. Well, so let me ask you, do you have an easy way to get your message across to everybody? And if you don't, then you need to have one. Does it make sense? Okay?
When do
Or-
you think you're gonna start with this service?
Huh?
When do you think?
No, I'm trying to create it. You know, I'm trying to get a company to do it. So we're interviewing people to try to get this done for you because I think it's a big necessity. I think it's a big necessity for you. That make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so it is 12:49. I'm gonna let you out a tiny little bit early today. Again, next week I have an announcement for next week. Okay, next week we have our mandatory meeting. Please don't come late. Okay. We always hit the mandatory stuff, and then we hit the fun stuff too. All right. It is a potluck, everyone. It is a potluck. All right. So bring your favorite dish to share. I always like tasting your stuff. Okay. So bring your favorite dish. I always like tasting different stuff. I don't like tasting, you know, a bag of chips. Okay. I like tasting everything. Okay. All right. Oh, one last announcement is this year our Thanksgiving lunch is gonna come a little early. Okay. It's gonna come on because I announced it to like our main group, and a lot of people are out of town for Thanksgiving.
Right.
So because of that, I'm having our Thanksgiving quite early. So we're having our Thanksgiving luncheon probably the second week of November. Okay. So we're having a little early. I guess I'll have to make turkey for you guys early. Okay. So to make sure that most people can make it. All right. So we'll announce it, but we're having a little early. All right, guys. I'll see you next week for the meeting.
Robert, you arrange to deal with four-star group sale,
Huh?
four-star for the membership.
Hey, I have two groups meeting for their commercial groups meeting here. So just guys can gather up here, okay? Okay. We have both retail and multifamily, I think. Hey,
I never met you before.
what's your name?
Wahid.
Wahid. Nice to meet you.
I'm with Russell.
What's your last name?
Wahid is the last name. First name is Ibanez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the broker for them for a while, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I've been always out, but I'm trying to get back. I've done a lot of REUs before, but now I got kind of like lost track of it because you know
Okay.
kind of shut down.
Yeah.
So I signed a couple of companies already,
Like which ones?
like the asset managers, you know, like Service Links and all this stuff. But the problem is right now, for some reason, one of them replied back to me. It's like, I'm not showing under Berkshire Hathaway as a broker associate.
Oh, really? You should be.
I know. I mean, I am, but it's when you pull up my information.
Can you talk to Linda and let her know?
So what I did on the DRE website, I'm supposed to put your broker license, and I submitted it. So I don't know who gets that email. Does it
Yeah,
come to you?
it normally comes to Linda or me.
Okay.
But I didn't get it, so if you ask Linda, she knows how to do it.
Press already
Okay.
to look into it because that's the only document that we
Okay,
right now.
that's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's see if I got it. When did you do that?
I did it today.
Oh, today?
Yeah.
Right now, I together.
Because I think the principal broker has to.
Yeah. What time today? Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Let me see.
But I didn't see anything.
So what is this called? Commercial brokers?
Commercial. They're just meeting actually. This is our commercial team. They're just meeting. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
It's starting to make sense.
Okay.
Sometimes they need principal broker authorization for this time. Should I send it to Linda?
Yeah. I'll take it stamp it for
I don't want to bug you. Like,
Oh, no worries. Here, let me. I'm on their site right now.
oh, okay.
There's so many chairs.
I think she might have certified you already. Because
Yeah, I need to make a call too. So.
I give him your email.
Oh.
Yeah, here, let me show you. Elite NorCal Corporation is a list of responsible brokers. We have like 30 of them. But Ibanez, Arafat, Wahid is right there on our list.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you're right there.
But I don't see that information though.
Yeah, but I see it.
Yeah.
But it's on here.
The-
So can you check with Linda because it's showing.
Okay.
You did under our corporation, right? You had them look under our corporation.
Under corporation.
Our
okay.
corporation. Now, obviously, you wouldn't show under my personal. You would show under our corporation. So if you told them to look under my personal, it wouldn't be there.
Oh, okay, okay.
It would have to be under
Under corporation.
under corporation. I think you might have put my personal license number, 01198809.
That's what I did there.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
No, that's the wrong number.
Okay. Just put it back
Yeah,
there.
our corporation number is this. The 01525946.
Let me just write it down.
Yeah, so this is, all of our brokers are under this license. It's our corporation number. Here, take a screenshot of this.
I'll
Okay. Yeah, so this is the number that you need.
Okay.
A lot of times brokers make a mistake, you put yourself under my own personal.
So even on the purchase contract, you put that number or put your own?
No, under the purchase agreements, you always put this number.
Or I always put your own.
Yeah, no, that's the wrong number.
Okay.
That's my personal license. But I'm actually the broker for the corporation. All of our insurances are under the corporation. So this is the number.
I always wondered like
Yeah.
what to put, but I always.
Yeah, so this is the number right here. Okay? So that's the one.
Thank
All
you,
right,
sir.
brother.
All right, thank
Yeah, because you're already showing under it. So that's why when you gave your asset manager the number, she looked under my personal. It wouldn't show under my personal. It show under our corporation. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let me get you in here.
Before I forget, they can meet me next week, Tuesday, 1 o'clock for our retail team versus Hardship.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, next week, 1 o'clock. Tuesday. Yeah, next Tuesday, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Tuesday, 1 o'clock, retail meeting.
All right, so today we have two groups. We have multifamily and retail. So just guys work together, okay? You guys don't mind, work together today?
I don't mind.
Okay, work together to look for whatever you need to look for.
Anyway, right after class.
Now, next Tuesday is not after class. Next Tuesday is after our luncheon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after lunch, I'll log you guys in, okay?
What time is it then?
No, after lunch is about the same time, 1 o'clock, okay? Just eat and then go to the thing, okay?
How's your dad doing?
What my dad's doing, you know. Yeah.
What hospital is it?
No, he's at home now, but he's on hospice. He's on hospice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I should
You wanna sit next to me?
settle our property.
Oh, well, I got an extra one if you want one.
No, that's okay, I'm just kidding.
I made an extra burrito in case somebody's starving to death. I think last week I was starving, so.
For retail? You want me to find it? Or why don't you find it? Come here, I'll show you. So that you get used to it. It's still for sale, right? Yeah.
They sprout them. You know the beans
Oh, no,
sit for a long time and all of a sudden sprout?
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll let you take my seat. Okay. So what? So your client is looking for what?
You got a
Income property in Sacramento,
What kind of income property?
that already have income.
That could be anything.
That's everything.
It's
Retail.
rental, yeah, something like.
Well, I mean, it could be everything. So what do they like? They like multifamily? Do they like
They
shopping
like
center?
something- They like something that they can rent it out and then leave some, they can, rent it out for events.
For events? There's not a lot of that.
How many square feet? They cut it?
Just about a
Pretty
million
okay.
six.
Yeah.
Okay, but See, commercial is broken into different categories. It's
How
retail.
about retail? Yeah.
Okay, so if it's retail, then it's like a shopping center, right? Okay. So we're gonna retail.
I brought two.
Retail. Okay, retail right here. Okay, I'm gonna shrink this down a little bit. Is there a certain area they want?
Sacramento area.
Okay. 1.6. So I say let's say 900. I'll go 900 to 2 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So now there's 90 properties. Okay, you want Sacramento, so I could do a polygon of it. So I'll do here, here. Do they want Folsom or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just go around here.
Camera Park, please. Robert, can you include Camera Park?
I sort of drew it already. Okay, but you guys can do it. Okay, so now there's 76 properties. Okay.
Click the one in L4 first and see which one.
Well, when you do it that way, there's so many.
Yeah.
Can you filter by cap rate?
You can, but the problem with when you filter by cap rate is some of the best properties didn't put a cap rate in there, and you eliminate them. Yeah, so that's why I don't like to do that. I could do size. No, but then. Okay, let's go.
Just do the smaller and.
Okay, so there's still 50 properties here. Okay. I mean, we can review the result.
Can you filter by class type? You know, I don't think it's gonna be A, but it's gonna be B, class type B building.
So you can filter it this way. So the best ones come up top. So let's say this one's 1.2 million. So there's this property is on Auburn Boulevard.
Not bad.
Small. You know, it's right on the main street, but they have a couple tenants that do jujitsu. It's not necessarily like the run-of-the-mill retail.
More like the office. Yeah, you mean.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit. Let me see. Next one.
If investment office building compares the shopping center in this kind of time, like we are going to a recession, something like that. So what kind of investment is best compare the office and versus office and shopping center?
I think you find good deals in retail right now because retail is going down a little bit. So like if you go for retail, go smaller units. Smaller unit retail is fine. You know, like I don't think machines are going to take over nail salons and hair salons and that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the retail food is fine. People always need to eat. Okay, but retail, their bigger spaces aren't good because there's less companies leasing bigger spaces. So like Sears, a lot of those went out of business. You know, Mervyn's, all those. Yeah.
So, but when that kind of places lost business and then they close out, and they have that kind of shopping center to sell, and then if some investor buying it, and did they still can convert to some small shopping center, or just only can rent that for one whole place?
No, you can break it up, but here's a problem with commercial, is that in commercial, the frontage, people really only want to go maximum like 40 to 60 feet deep. Okay, and a normal space for a retail is around 1,200 square feet. Yeah, so if you're doing retail, you know, if let's say you have this big space, but the space is like 100 feet deep, if someone wants a retail spot and it's 100 feet deep, man, who will have a 12-foot frontage? Not enough room to put a door, right? So people want wide and a little bit deep, but not too deep.
Yeah.
So even this building, if let's say I turn this building into retail spaces, if I cut 20 foot frontage, it would still go back 80 feet. The last of it'd be a little bit deep, you know, to cut it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
You guys get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So hey, guys, I have my next appointment. Go ahead and sit down.
When housing price goes down, what about the commercial building? They go down together or just?
No, they don't necessarily always go down. Normally, if prices go down for homes, commercial doesn't go down for another 2 or 3 years.
Okay,
Yeah, commercial is always a couple of years behind
I see.
retail. Okay.
So what do we look next one?
Yeah, I'm working with the group.
Eventually, I feel like that because
Yeah.
This
come on,
one
come on down.
is
Okay. I do have a meeting at 2, so you gotta come in now. Okay.
To sell it.
No.
Sell it down. That's why you say come out to the areas when house goes down. This is the peak of the market.
I think it's on this time is can see clear should buy or should not buy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell
It's hard to say. It's some kind of
yeah, we gonna click one by one. There is a lot in here.
So did you pick up, how do you guys do it? What's your name?
So compare that.
So what we do, we
Shopping center is better than office. I feel like shopping center is better than office.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
what we do, we just search around. What your guy want to find
Yeah,
out.
so are we doing like one, and then are we